Right, we're thirsty for your comments. And guess what people want to talk about there, Ricky? They want to talk about last night's debate.
Go figure.
Okay, and Rick says, not you, but the commenter says, last night's debate was a total joke. John Harwood lost any respect I had for him. He was more interested in trying to make the candidates look bad instead of finding out what they really stood for.
No disagreement. Carol says, if I was in control of the Republican Party, I would be very careful on who I was going to have moderate the next debate. Last night, a total farce.
Well, that's very true. And Reince Priebus deserves some responsibility.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about that. How much does he really have to say about that? Far be it for me to defend Reince Priebus. A, I'm not a big fan, and B, my partner is Michael Steele, so you can imagine how I feel about Reince Priebus. But I don't think that he can pre-approve the questions that are going to be asked.
Not the questions, but the moderators that are asking.
Well, you know what? You know, I'm sure that when he looked at those moderators, said these are three of the best people they have at CNBC.
David Faber's pretty darn good.
It becomes
and Kieran
opinion.
is pretty good.
It becomes opinion.
I know.
And who's to say they wouldn't have been just as bad in the questioning? So I am going to defend him a little bit on this. I think that's asking a little too much of him. Now, he might have decided that CNBC was not the best place for a debate. That's something he would have some control over. But I suspect he thought it's a business network. It'll be a business discussion. It wasn't any of that.
It was not indeed. Okay, Steve writes, I don't think the moderators during last night's debate did a bad job. They did point out some serious issues, including Ben Carson claiming he wasn't aware of endorsing a herbal supplement like Rick did a couple of years ago. Ben flat out lied about that. You know, we didn't get to talk about that before. Gail, or let me go to the other Democrat on the panel.
Fact checking is easy.
It is, right?
It's not hard.
So in this case,
he's been caught in these positions a few times, and so is Carly Fiorina, and I think that's her issue right now. Even though she spoke more than anybody else in that debate stage, she is not moving up in the polls because she's been fact checked so many times as being completely false, including last night.
The numbers, the numbers do prove that actually Carly Fiorina spoke more than anybody at that debate last night. You wouldn't think that because we're barely talking about her. She had a fine performance. There's just something about her this time that isn't impactful.
And Ben Carson was very lucky last night that he got the crowd on his side. I don't think he told the truth when he answered that question because, you know, we're both attorneys. We know that it rarely happens where somebody's going to use your name and likeness without A, notifying you, and B, paying you.
I had a different reaction to that.
Oh, really?
Because I've had my image put all over the website, or all over the internet with messages that I don't endorse. So
Did you
I don't
sue
think
them?
you could. No, because it's
Maxim's
too much.
very hard to sue.
They make money off of it?
Yeah. But I think your article was so great in talking about Ms. Quick, and that she is never going to have the ability to moderate one of these debates again. So I think there are professional consequences for these moderators that the viewers have seen because they were able to kind of pull back the curtain on them and see that they lacked the journalistic professionalism that they needed to ask those really tough economic questions.
I will add, giving you the benefit of the doubt that he somehow didn't know they were using his picture. I can show you a promotional film he did for them that was online. He had to know it because he participated in making it.
Was it on his website?
No, it was on theirs, and it had the logo of the company. So I didn't really buy
Lightning round
question. Anyhow,
question.
John says, if the RNC has a pair, what do you mean, John? They would cancel all of the future NBC debates. Maybe they should be on Newsmax where they will get real questions. Right you are, John.
Wow, we could moderate a debate, you and me. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I'd be accused of bias before I began.
No, I think you'd be fair, believe it or not.
A Democratic debate.
No, it'd be fair. I'll give you that. Sammy writes, Donald Trump once again proved why he will win this election. He speaks his mind without regard to others' feelings. It's time for America to have a president that will not be controlled by lobbyists. Quickly, do you think that Trump was hurt last night or helped? I think he is.
It was a wash.
Right. How about Ben Carson? Will he be hurt?
Wash.
Wash.
I think he'll be hurt a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 points.
And who gains?
Ted Cruz.
Cruz and Rubio.
Cruz swept
I think the polls are going to stay relatively static. But I can't believe that commenter thought that what makes you a good president is not being afraid to be rude to people. Interesting.
Well, I think
my
it's more
parents
like,
would have disagreed with you.
Okay. I think, honestly, that Rubio, I've called him winning other debates before, and he gets no bounce. It's so frustrating. Fiorina I called winning, and she got a bounce, and then she was like elastic, came right back.
She repeated herself a little too much in the debate. I thought that was a failure.
We got to go, because if you want to weigh in on any of the issues we talk about here in the show, be sure to go to comments at newsmaxtv.com/comments right there below you. As you can see, we read them on the air. Up next, it's time for Yay or Nay, but first, Newsmax has this special offer. offer. That's right, it's the shocking new book, Unlikable, The Problem with Hillary by Edward Klein. It's already skyrocketed to the top of the bestseller list. It's probably the most powerful expose on Hillary ever written. In Unlikable, author Ed Klein, Nomi, offers a stunning, powerful expose of Hillary Clinton and her race to the White House with unprecedented access scale. Klein meticulously recreates conversations and details of Hillary Clinton's behind-the-scenes strategy. Klein also reveals the angry rivalry between Hillary and Barack Obama. Unlikable retails for $29.95, but now you can get it with our free offer. Get this almost $30 value absolutely free. Just go online to newsmax.com/Klein or call toll-free 1-800-850-8749. 2016 is fast approaching. You need to read Unlikable. Get the truth about Hillary. Check out our incredible offer right now.